that was inside the top 5. I believe it was 4th with 15.6 points, now outside the top 10. So a lot of teams shaking up, but that's only because it's only been 2 games. With game number 3 getting ready, just underway. Let's lock it in to see where that plane line will be headed. Your map 2 winners making their way, going for a relatively conservative start. A lot of teams you've been seeing grabbing those most wanted contracts to kind of loot up throughout the early game and find a good chunk of cash. Well, Kaylee and Co, they are utilizing those scav contracts to find well-needed cash and supplies. So it is kind of a journey through your drop spot POY, but you'll kind of not have a target on your back.
Yeah, hey, if you get your early loot, get your loadout extremely quickly, you're going to feel more comfortable going into some of these early gunfights, which is what we were talking about. It's super important. So watch out for some of these team strategies that are evolving over the course of this 12-game tournament. But we'll watch our former map winners try to go back to back. And a big map, by the way. It was a 22.5-point game for them, which, again, like I said, it did assumedly put them into the top 5, and it gets them all the way to 4th place. But their first game was only about 10 points or so, so they're a little over 30 points. They're trying to replicate some of that double-digit success. They keep that consistency up, they're likely going to be walking away with a ton of cash. I think things we're learning, Tiff. I mean, one of the big points already, Aydan said it as he hopped into the gulag, the snipers can be incredibly annoying. These are one-shot snipers if they hit your head, if they're using the right ones, and it's a key to a lot of these teams' success to pick up some of those early eliminations and carve pathways for their team to push squads, utilize your player advantage, and grab a team wipe. But let's hop in with Tommy, Z-Smith, and Mizu and see what they can do playing as a trio. Some footsteps and a most wanted nearby. A chance to grab a team wipe.
Am I going in the window?
Come towards,
Tommy, out here coaching. Did you do the hop spot? Did you do the jump spot? All right, here goes Z-Smith. Trying to lay siege. Meanwhile, Mizu in the gulag, losing out. It's going to be Robstar who gets the trade right onto Tommy, and now Z-Smith hopping throughout. Trying to take the enemy by surprise and see if he can clear this out.
It's going to be a tough 1v2 to win, and I think he knows it. Throws a grenade to cover some advances, and does have a smoke and is able to get to a tiny slice of cover. A couple plates to his name, might get out of here, gets the second plate in to stay alive. Impressive dodging here from Z-Smith to get to the next piece of cover. His goal is to grab some more plates and then get to the zip to get out of here. I don't think he wants to hang out here in case he gets pushed. Luckily, both of his teammates are coming back into the lobby after winning their gulags, and so they should be able to play together as a unit, or at the very least, kind of play these micro UAVs floating up above, live pinging everything that they can to allow Z-Smith to grab a victory here and stay alive.
Soka going with the scav, and it's gonna be Shifty throwing the mortar strike. Soka grabs onto the roof to push in. Shifty goes down, and now in the stairway will be Soka with the reinforcements, and now the chaos is ensuing. Vonbot also down, but here goes Soka, able to grab a knock onto one. There goes the full, picking up that well-needed resources. Can we find the rest of the teammates? Looks like it's going to be a knock on to Unrational, which means Huskerrs. Huskerrs is nearby as well.
Sounds like Vonbot got sniped. Calling it out, and oh, wow, the timing. Yeah, definitely got sniped. Ahsoka hits the zip, and somebody was waiting for him. That's a wipe, a couple gulags to boot. If they lose those gulags, they are out of here early in this lobby. Only one team fully eliminated, but my goodness, that was brutal.
Loadouts incoming. Nano squad on the roof. Can decide where that ring will pull for them once that circle pops, and they have a long way to go. Good thing they've got some teammates by them and a redeployed just south. But they're not going to leave just yet.
Here, Nano kind of giving some comms on where some of these players could be. This is what I was talking about. Oftentimes when these players get brought back in, or maybe they win their gulag, they're going to float above for just a little while and try to grab some live pings, or at least some information. Any way you can get information in this game is going to be key to your success. Didn't spot too many people threatening, so able to loot up, get Nano right back to where he needs to be with loadout weapons, tons of plates, a perfect regain and a restabilize, but they're going to have to get to the next zone, and this is going to be the difficult thing. Get past some of these advancing teams grab a team wipe, hit the zip, and hopefully not get held.
Oh, we've got a knock on to Horrid. Looks to be King AJ on the opposing squad. Z Colors elsewhere having some issues. Deployable cover down in the hallway. Good regain. Havoc being hunted, and now Huskerrs coming back in. Unrational fully eliminated despite what we had witnessed earlier, but a relatively central zone. Love the FOV change to try and get a little bit of a look there on where you're kind of speculating. Oh, that's new. Man, this is really taking me back when the drill charges were everywhere. Just, all right, we're throwing drill charges. Desmond down and out, a track to follow in. Well, here we go. Z Colors finds a knock onto one. Can't necessarily get the full because the teammate's going to trade him out. Now we're in a 1v3 and he just can't put it to boot. It's going to be Z Smith taking that final elimination. Now Z Smith, Mizu, and Tommy, they're going to need a nice regain.
Woo, that was a crazy gunfight. Colors almost went massive there, taking down all three, but just couldn't quite get the gun around the corner fast enough. And now Braxton's in trouble. That team gets wiped as well. Teams falling left, right, and center. The early action is being answered. My call for early eliminations. Quickly, somebody's picking up on the other line. Right now, it's not Braxton, but he's got to win this gulag. Keep his team alive. DJ Moss fully wiped from his team. He needs to win this, and no, goes down. Loses it. And now only one player left alive for his squad. This is one of the teams at the top of the leaderboard. Now in trouble here in map 3.
Should I just go to this buy?
Wait, I can't see you. They're sending a thing.
I can't see you. I'm still in the gulag. Let's check in with Testy on the rooftop, sniper in hand. Forged looking real nice. Stark difference from all the Interstellars and Borealis skins we've seen thus far in the lobby.
Let me know. I have a PA.
Okay.
Wait. Wait.
Ooh, good comms, good comms. Always vital to have some kind of streak, whether that's a mortar, whether that's a PA, in your pocket to be able to throw down once you get a sniper knock. Can we make that happen, Testy? Just mere moments away from landing that to the dome on the enemy. Can we do it again? All right. 0 for 2.
There it is.
And it connects. Woo! Yaff. There you go. Gonna be the knock. There goes the PA. Smokes to follow, hitting that res, but it's going to be the signal. By the time Wars and Co. get over there, that player will be up in Adam unless that PA connects.
Yeah, the one problem with that knock was they were right next to a stairwell they could crawl into, and so as Jaffa goes down, likely crawled in and then got revived. They're trying to push the equation, but doesn't seem like it. A couple people zipping and now calling out that, hey, maybe they bailed. So looks like we're going to be sending Testy up the zip line. Try to grab an elimination off the other side. These are some of these fights, Tiff, that like they just take so long that the question is like, is this really worth your time? And of course you want to, you know, cover all your angles and make sure you never get shot in the back or you forget about somebody, but like this is brutal. They are just going to hunt down this squad, though. Testy thinks that they're going to be able to grab these eliminations, no problem.
That was under us, I think, bro.
See, this is that situational awareness that I'm talking about. That's going to take a few tournaments and kind of iterations on Urzikstan to be able to really flesh out. But it's like, I think that was underneath us, or we're just trying to get an angle. Tuning in with FIFA, Symphony, Lennon, once again on a rooftop. They've got that bounty that's just kind of southwest of Lennon. But doing everything that they can to just survey the land with 27 squads remaining. Still relatively healthy lobby. Oh, their bounty's on 5x5. So one of our ladies competing here today.
Because that bounty definitely moved like over here. I'm not kidding.
I think I'd love to do a quick listen in with this team. Just a quick listen to their comms to see what they're talking about. FIFA is usually the IGL for this squad. And I think they've trapped 5x5 down below.
See him up three, yeah. One in, knocked. Nice. Double.
Don't let him out now. Shoot down the balloon. I hit one. I cracked one with the mortar.
Absolute. Knock. One left. Is he below me? It could be below me.
Blue. 20. Nice. Alright, let's go. Go blue. about that one, the other one. Oh, fuck.
I've hit this one, I've hit this one.
Basically, we got hit. Oh, you're on him? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Where do we roll in here?
It's cool to turn up player comms. Of course, all of these streamers are streaming. That's how we're pulling their feed. So if you want to listen into their comms the whole time, feel free to check out these streamers. A fantastic team play by this trio, Tiff. And I love that we got to hear the flowing comms of knocked one, push this, go to balloon, go here. We've got to keep moving. It is fast-paced action, and that's what I love about Urzikstan. Everything is ramped up multiple percentage points, even from Al Mazrah. We're talking 20-minute games rather than 30-minute games. This is a sizable difference, and you can even tell by the pace of their comms.
A little bit slower now as they've kind of stabilized back onto the rooftop. Symphony kind of playing anchor, right? Utilizing the sniper to throw down suppression damage, maybe change the numbers advantage for FIFA and Lennon, but we jump back on over to Swagg, Booyah, and Pens, and well, we're missing out on 1-2 left alive, and we need to hit a full regain. We have the cash. There is a buy station just due north and a mobile behind them. But you do hear the comms through. There is a team overlooking a buy where the portable is at. So being able to clear this out, get that teammate back into the mix of things. But where are the players? Pens looks to have set some sights onto a neighboring rooftop, and
nice.
Oh, that's where the sniper comes through. Easy for Booyah. Good smoke and answer back, but it's not going to stop that full from happening. And bye-bye, Sage.
These are huge pickups, not only weakening other teams, but also just slowly tallying up a couple eliminations along the way. These are the kills you look back on, especially as you start getting into those multipliers that are really going to help your scoreline. And Booyah does it again. 1-2, should be able to clean that one up. Puts him up to 5 as an individual. Man, it feels good to see Booyah back into comp, especially with the sniper in hand. He's putting on a clinic for us, Tiff.
As soon as the snipers were one shot, and we saw a lot of clips kind of hitting the timelines, everyone's like, oh my God, Warzone's back, Call of Duty's back. The difference between Al Mazrah and Warzone 2, bringing it into Urzikstan and here in Modern Warfare 3 and the new iteration of Warzone, has just been such a stark differential. Obviously, all of the movement that's been updated, it's been really fun and refreshing and kind of giving that. Now, granted, I don't have movement like any of these players, so I'm definitely a little lackluster in that, but it's really fun to watch.
So watching Joewo put on a clinic in solo squads, winning 1v4s with that mobility swarm. Don't think he's using it in customs, but still some massive outplay potential. Even with a pretty fast TTK, you can still outplay your opponents with some good movement. Just waiting to see what Sage and Clamp are able to do. They've restabilized already, bought back Sage, got him back in, got his weapons, grabbed some high ground position on some of these buildings. Right now, high ground is going to be key going into the 4th and 5th circle here to especially catch teams rotating in. You're going to see a lot of teams, if not almost every team, trying to hit some of these zips to fly into some of these high ground positions. So if you're there first, could be some free kills. And this is what we're talking about. Crinks flying in and getting picked off in the air while doing so, but does make it to a bit of cover.
Able to re-stabilize from that position. This squad currently into map number 3 in 5th place. Need to barricade forward, and with 3 eliminations for Crinks themselves, able to skirt through the open. We do have shots from afar, so we're going to break out that smoke until we can get to the building. Losing out just on the shields once again, but pulling through on that. Tempered is just the way to go to be able to get full shields back up so insanely quick. You can also see the double time, the bird's eye, a lot of that. It's going to be like a nice mix of perks. I was really curious what people will be breaking out here in the customs lobby, and as we jump onto scraps, we find 1, we find 2. Can we get a 3rd? That's going to be a door in empathy, and we're just looking for their final member of the squad.
Massive play from Scraps with a little bit of help from his teammates here with Robstar right behind. They're playing as a trio near flawlessly. But Scraps has to put on a show and then misses shots. Misses his close range shots, and we lose Scraps in the process. Just a mistime fight and doesn't bail out quickly enough to stay alive. Now Robstar in trouble. What looked like a near flawless team fight, all of a sudden they've lost one. They do end up winning the team, but you've got to look back on these moments, especially if they can't get to this buy station free and clear, which is definitely possible with still 20 teams alive. This could be a crucial error for this team's chances at even playing into the top 8 and getting the 1.3 times multiplier.
Loadout's coming down, and that bounty onto Dethrone.
would have fired at us.
They're just begging it.
But yeah, they've got 18 seconds before that ring starts to close. They've got a buy station on the horizon, but will they be able to get that moving? Let's tune into Wars, Testy, and Co. Yeah, crazy spots all around. As we have to move our way further into that circle, watching all of the rooftops is going to be critical for this squad. We've seen what happens. The moment you think you're safe, you get sniped. Or spotted in this case.
Look, I've been preaching it this whole time. Information gathering tools are key. UAVs, obviously the easy ones. If you got a recon drone, another fantastic way to get some information and spot a few teams out. But a nice rotation here. Wars team able to at least get to the bottom of this building. Is there a team here? Yes, no questions asked, especially this late into the game with 20 trios left. There's going to be a team everywhere, but Wars catches 5x5, not necessarily by surprise, but out in the open. There goes one, there goes two, looking for the third. Should be a fairly free team wipe here, and they do grab, I believe, all three pushed out, but maybe could be a couple more people at the top of this building.
As that ring is just 30 seconds away from collapsing, we have completely caught Careless Kitty off guard. Tom's going through towards the teammates, and Dame Different will need to clutch up in this moment. Lots of damage going down, finds a knock, but is just ultimately surrounded, and that team will fall just outside of that 1.2x multiplier. But for Soka, Shifty, Vonbot, poised to perfection like trolls under a bridge, navigating this. Now, they are playing around this UAV tower, which they could utilize for some information, but the comms coming through. I'm holding left. See, that's the level of intricacies that we're going to get in some of these competitive squads today.
I like this play under the bridge. I like playing around this train. The problem is you don't get the zone pull. Yet again, another opportunity to try to mitigate RNG, play closer to center of zone. Maybe you feel like you're in a better spot, but should grab a couple eliminations. And I think what they're talking about is that they're going to try to kill this team and then push aggressively into the next zone. Where do you go from here? You know teams are going to be hanging out over there. You know teams are going to be sitting in the piece of cover you want to get to. And if you don't fight this team, you're going to get shot in the back. A tough spot to be in. We'll see what they do.
Okay, well, we'll see what we do. Well, Soka lights up the kill feed, and it just completely goes wild.
Whoa.
A massive team wipe onto Deus Amir's squad, taking minimal damage, but it's Aydan from the roof, just inside of the zone. That will be a thorn in Havoc's side. They were able to grab a knock on to one, but can we get the full? We do make that come through.
Huge pickup. Havoc going down. Second there for Aydan. LMG in hand, just raining hellfire from distance, having one of the high ground positions in zone. These are the early rotations we were talking about. These are the spots you want to be in going into the next zone. 7th and then 8th zone. They do have a spot to hold a couple teams rotating in, and then are going to have to move themselves. And now the entirety of this map's life is on Hisoka's shoulders. Here's footsteps, spots one through the smoke, but is in trouble, somehow still alive.
No plates, no resources, and it's Lennon, it's Symphony, and a 1v2 against this dynamic duo that are the remnants of this. Only missing out on FIFA, and Symphony turns his snipers to the sights of another squad. Not necessarily connecting, but have we made it to the 1.3x multiplier? No, just mere squads away from it, just coming into effect here. This is just as good as that first place by just 0.2x multipliers.
All right, we've made it into the top 8. Everybody achieving the second to highest multiplier you can get. It all comes down to kills. Symphony in trouble, getting shot in distance, but does have a bit of cover to work with. A smoke at least gives him a small bit of reprieve, but no gas mask to write home about means he's got to rotate through the smoke with his teammate. Teammate gets sniped. Is he free? There's somebody on top of the building that they're not looking. He gets the self-revive. He gets the revive. They're playing as a duo here, Tiff, and they have an opportunity to still win this somehow. But without a gas mask, this is going to be so difficult. And yet again, they don't get the zone pull they wanted. They set up on the low end, and it pushes to high. They pick up a couple eliminations. They're still alive. Symphony is going crazy on the map. That's 4 for him.
was well needed. They were just inside the top 10 coming into map number 3. And as they barrel forward, well into the top 5 now, Lennon on a 10 kill streak. The zone is shifting, but being able to play these rocks, this hillside, affords them just a minimal amount of cover.
I am blown away. They were able to crawl through the low ground into high and win the gunfights to stay alive. Still a lot of work to do, but the fact they're here at all is incredibly impressive. And they might be able to pick one out of the air as well if Symphony can get a bit of cover. He's able to get there for a second, but again, no gas mask. This is going to be so difficult. If they can do this, this will be one of the hardest in-game fights you have in the game to battle in from the low ground to the high ground without the resources necessary to do it. But one of the teams at the top, all 3 still alive. This is the team to beat at this point in this lobby. A chance to go massive and maybe take the top position. They grab another elimination and continue to rotate with their smokes to the next circle. Let's see what they can do.
Wars was last alive for that squad, and Lennon barricades forward, not necessarily going to be enough, just forced to watch as Adrian hits them with that throwing knife to seal the deal, and this trio fully stacked out in the endgame lobby, fighting forward. We were curious what this would look like for Adrian, Aydan, and Crinks going forward as a competitive squad, and well, it's looking really good, Goj.
3 teams left, but this is the only trio left alive. Likely a 3 versus a 2 versus a solo. This trio rotated early, got high ground position near edge of zone in about the 6th circle, set up flawlessly, picked up several eliminations, and rotated to new early enough with their gas mask to be prepared with all 3 alive. They have set themselves up flawlessly to win it all. This would be a total throw of a map if they don't win this. And as they pick up Lennon, it is all nearly written and done with. Nearly the story of map 3 entirely in their hands. And as they pick up 1, then 2, then grab the victory, no problem at all. A massive victory under the captainship of Crinks that puts them at 19 total eliminations and a 1.5 multiplier. A huge victory for this trio.
I mean, it's massive, right? They came into this map in 5th place with 33 points. The trajectory that this trio is going to be on after map number 3 will be dynamic.
One of the biggest games of the day, if not the